We have experienced high and low times, just like a mountain range with its peaks and valleys. September of 2009. Most of us were walking through the doors of LCN for the first time. We scattered through the hallways to try and find our freshman classes. To go along with the new building that we were in, we were introduced to many new faces. It didn't take long for the epic Middle School North, Middle School East rivalry to be forgotten. Soon enough, we made it through our first year of high school. Now on to sophomore year. We were no longer the babies of high school. It was a new year of school, but not much had changed. However, this was the first year we were introduced to Dr. Dixon. It was Mr. Jackson's last year as principal. Without DJ knowing, we planned a surprise retirement party for him. I'll never forget how nearly 2,000 people got so quiet when we received word that he arrived at the school. And I'll also never forget how loud and crazy we all got when he arrived in the gym. He said that we did much more for him than he could have ever done for any student or staff member. A simple retirement party like that is not close to a big enough thank you for the amazing 5 years Mr. Jackson served as principal. The year went on, and before we knew it, sophomore year was over. Up until the retirement party, our mountain trip had plateaued. Freshman and sophomore year left no significant mark on our journey, but saying thank you and goodbye to Mr. Jackson as principal left us continuing to climb up the mountain for our next year at LCN. Junior year featured the lowest valley and the highest peak for our trip. In the fall, the football team struggled to find a win. But the valley created by the team was soon forgotten when our junior girls upset the seniors in the annual homecoming powder puff game. At the end of December, the LCN band led us up the mountain and halfway across the world to London. New Year's Day in 2012, the band played for the Queen of England during the New Year's Day parade. As the year continued on, everything seemed great for LCN. Then February 13th came. During second hour on that Monday, Assistant Principal Mr. Martin made an announcement that sadly hit home for all of us. The creator of Crusader Nation had passed away. This was the ultimate valley for us in high school. It didn't matter how old you were, who you were, or how good of a student you were. The message of Mr. Jackson's passing shocked. The message of Mr. Jackson's passing. Oh boy. The message of Mr. Jackson's passing shocked current LCN students, staff members, and alumni. With this deep valley, it took not one, but 2 basketball teams to bring us back on top. The whole school came together, basketball fans or not, and stood behind the teams. Throughout the season and into the playoffs, varsity boys and girls teams had one common goal in mind: do it for DJ. A magical run by the boys team ended in the Final Four at Michigan State's President's Center. The season was over, but Mr. Jackson's legacy was and never will be forgotten in Crusader Nation. With all the ups and downs, we witnessed junior year, our class still managed to earn the highest ACT score out of any class at LCN. On top of that, our student council came up with the first ever dodgeball tournament. In an effort to raise money for prom, we created a fun tournament for the whole school to enjoy. An unforgettable junior year had soon come to an end. It was now time for what most people call the best year of our lives. It was our final round at high school. This was the year everyone talked about. They told us to enjoy every minute and make the most out of everything we did. I think we did just that. Our senior year started off by going right up the mountain and never looking back. When the new Crusade came to LCN, it did more than just improve the football team. It brought Crusader Nation all together as one. The marching band, cheerleaders, and fans were all a part of the record-setting season. Fall ended, but not before our class put on another successful dodgeball tournament. Winter came, and the year was flying by. Before Christmas break, the school honored Mr. Jackson one last time. Jackson Gymnasium was officially introduced to Crusader Nation. Senior year carried on, and spring was around the corner. In March, LCN and Lance Cruz started the first ever Powder Puff Penny War. After a week of collecting change and 2 days of annoying lunch music, LCN raised enough money to earn the right to host the game, which unfortunately was later forfeited by Lance Cruz due to lack of participation. After spring break, the countdown had begun. With everyone excited to graduate high school and move on to college, we remember that never again in our lives will we be together like this. Weeks turned into days, and the senior barbecue had arrived. Less than a week later, it was our last school dance. 4 years of fundraising led us to having a great casino-themed prom. Plaza Grande was filled with beautiful dresses and slick tuxedos. It wasn't the good food or the decorations that made prom an unforgettable night. It was the people there. Thank you to everyone who came out and made memories with us. Prom ended, honor cords, scholarships, and senior pictures were handed out, and we are now here. Today, all of us are thinking the same thing. We made it. After more than 1,400 sporting events, 12 school plays, 20 band concerts, and hundreds of school store cookies, our journey through the mountain of Crusader Nation has come to an end. It has been an honor to be your senior class president this past year. I hope you all enjoyed high school as much as I did. There's one thing I know for sure. I couldn't be more proud to call myself a Crusader these past 4 years, and even more proud to be the president of this senior class. At this time, can I have all candidates for graduations to please stand? The turning of the tassel is symbolic of our journey from students to graduates. It represents our next step in being officially presented to the Board of Education. Please follow my lead before once again being seated. With your right hand, grasp your tassel